program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Baseball's 39th All Star Game. Its tradition shaped by these men comes to the Houston Astrodome today, with the state of Texas adding something new to that tradition, the first All-Star Game to be televised at night, and the first one played indoors. From its birth in Chicago in 1933 as the dream of the late Arch Ward, sports editor of the Chicago Tribune, to Houston's palatial eighth wonder of the world, the All-Star Game has annually been the showcase of baseball's best, with the starting lineup selected by the major leaguers themselves. The National League leads the series with 20 victories. The American League has won 17, and there's been one tie. Deep in the heart of Texas, welcome to the 35th anniversary mid-season baseball classic. From Houston, at the Astrodome, NBC Sports presents the 1968 All-Star Game.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kurt Gowdy to call the play-by-play for you. Pee Wee Reese, Sandy Koufax will be analyzing. We had a rain most of the day here that left everybody unconcerned in Houston because they knew it would be play ball tonight under perfect conditions, air-conditioned theater comfort. We'll have a standing room crowd of 52,000, and they'll be watching to see if the American League can end a 5-year domination, a 5-year winning streak of the National League. The National League is the favorite, based on recent history and a better rested pitching staff that Sandy will be telling you about. And we have two Mr. Zeros starting, two right-handers, Don Drysdale of the Dodgers in the National League, and Louis Tion of the Indians in the American League will be the starting pitchers. They have each thrown 7 shutouts in the first half of the season. And Pee Wee, this is the National League park, and these National League players have all played in here over the years since the Astrodome was built. Many of the American leaguers are seeing it for the first time. Do you think this will be an advantage for the National League?
No way, Kurt. No way. I went out with these fellas on the infield before the game with Brooks Robinson, Fregosi, Carew, and Killebrew. And they say if the National League can catch this ball off the AstroTurf, we're professionals. There's no reason why we shouldn't catch it. And if the American League loses, it won't be because of the AstroTurf.
All right. Now, of course, in a short series or one game, it's usually pitching that tells the story. What about the pitching here tonight, Sandy?
Well, Kurt, I think in that department, I think the National League has the edge. Not that they have the better pitching. They are carrying one extra pitcher. They have 8, where the American League only has 7. And of the 7 pitchers the American League has, 5 of them started on Sunday, including Louis Tion, who was starting the game for the American League. And the National League only has 2 that pitched on Sunday. One is Jerry Kuzman, who pitched with 1 batter, and Tom Seaver, who pitched 1 inning. Everybody else is well rested. Don Drysdale, a starter, is going with his normal 3 days rest. So I think that could favor the National League here tonight.
All right, now let's take a trip around the interior here of the Astrodome. And to be your host is the fine announcer of the Houston Astros, Mr. Gene Elston.
Thank you, Kurt. Most happy to have all of you with us tonight. The Houston Astros are proud to have NBC and all of you fans in the Astrodome, the fabulous Astrodome, the 8th wonder of the world. So let's see what the place looks like. For the first time in history, the All-Star Game will be played in air-conditioned comfort under a dome high enough to place a 12-story building. Being a perfectly symmetrical ballpark, there are a few problems involved when it comes to the batted ball. Fences are 340 down each foul line, 390 to right and left center fields, and 406 to center. Now, you'll note the yellow lines in the fences. Any ball hitting this line or above is a home run. Now, the dugouts here in the Astrodome are the longest in baseball, 120 feet, which also includes the bullpen, pitchers, and catchers. Spectators walk down 80% of the stadium seats, more than any other stadium. The seating capacity here is 45,000 for baseball. All seats are theater-type cushion chairs, color-coded to match the spectator's ticket. Seating is on 6 levels, with the field seats mechanically movable for football seating. 5 restaurants, 2 private clubs for baseball stadiums, and more than tomorrow, it's modern. And as if that's not enough, let's take a look into the far reaches of the 9th level here at the Astrodome. Now, don't think by the pictures we're leaving baseball and the Astrodome. On the contrary, this is a look into one of the over 50 luxurious skyboxes on the 9th level. Boxes containing 24 to 30 seats adjacent to the club room. Each club room is individually designed with a different motif, magnificently furnished and containing all the comforts, as you can see, telephone, radio, television, even closed-circuit TV for viewing the ball game that's in progress and will be here tonight. Restroom, ice maker, and bar, and of course, special elevators take the skybox holders to their very special club rooms. You know, many adjectives have been used to describe the Astrodome, but somehow they all seem inadequate. You know, it is generally agreed that no one man could have built the Astrodome. But without Judge Roy Hoffheinz, owner and president of the Houston Sports Association, the Houston Astros, it would certainly not be a reality today. Now, just completed this year in the right field outfield area are Judge Hoffheinz' private quarters. From the 9th level Polyasian bar down through 5 additional levels, you'll find almost a complete city. The presidential suite, plus 4 other suites with facilities for sleeping over 14 people. Beauty parlor, barbershop, children's play area, small movie theater, a boardroom where the National and the American Leagues will hold their meetings tomorrow, and of course, a complete recreation area. This definitely is the Astrodome, and this is baseball tomorrow style, modern baseball, inside in air-conditioned comfort. You know, as one gentleman once said, you have to see it to believe it, and somehow, even then, you don't. And we certainly hope that you fans, wherever you may be, will have an opportunity to get to Houston and see the fabulous 8th wonder of the world.
Coach Mayo Smith of the Detroit Tigers, Cal Armour of the Minnesota Twins, and the rest of the players from the American League. Well, there they are, the American League squad. Tigers lead the most representative 4. That's the American League team will be trying to snap the 5-game National League winning streak. Introduces the lineup, the All of the National League, the manager of the National. Batting second, left fielder from batting seventh, pitcher from the New York Mets, Jerry. Shortstop from the Chicago Cubs, Don Kissinger. The starting team, but unable to play due to injury from the Cincinnati Rose. dismissal of the rest of the players from the National League. MLB All Star Game is being brought to you from the Astrodome in Houston, Texas.
Hi, Dodge Fever is really catching with Dodge Fever specials. Specially equipped cars at special prices. Save up to 50% on extras. Here's what you get on Monaco and Polara. And of course, we'd never leave out Coronet. Dart has Dodge Fever specials, too. See a Dodge Fever special at your Dodge dealers. At participating Dodge dealers, you may also win an exciting bonus bandwagon gift. Save at your Dodge dealers now.
That's quite a...
Hi. Dandruff. Bad dandruff. Try and fly away. And dull. Then I tried it. Puts in luster. Puts in body. Puts in softness. Puts in control. Fights dandruff. And wins. Believe in Resdan.
Makers of Super Stainless Blades and Right Guard Deodorant, and by the makers of Aniston.
Truck from Chrysler Canada Limited.
Gillette, makers of Super Stainless Blades and Right Guard Deodorant, and by the makers of Aniston.
Attention at home plate, there are 6 umpires assigned to today's game. There'll be Shag Crawford of the National League behind the plate. Larry Knapp of the American League at first. Mel Steiner of the National League at second. Bill Kinnaman of the American League will be umping at third. The left field line will be handled by Jim Odom of the American League, and umpiring the right field line will be Harry Wendelstedt of the National League. And Dick Williams, the manager, and his captain, Mickey Mantle, represented the American League. Red Shane East is the manager of the National League, and the captain, Willie Mays, out there for the pre-game ceremony. This is the first year we've had captains, and of course the two veterans, Willie Mays playing in his 19th All-Star game. There's the commissioner of baseball, General Eckert, and Ducky Medwick, just elected, down to keep score. Here's the American League batting order. Jim Fregosi is the shortstop of the Angels. Rod Carew of the Twins is batting second at second base. Yastrzemski of the Red Sox is hitting third in center field. Howard of the Senators is the cleanup man in right field. Horton of the Tigers is in left field hitting fifth. Killebrew of the Twins is at first base batting sixth. Freehan of the Tigers is catching, batting seventh. Robinson of the Orioles is batting eighth at third, and Louis Tiant is pitching. He'll go only 2 innings. He worked 6 2/3 innings on Sunday. He said innings, by the way. In the National League lineup, Willie Mays in center field. Flood is batting second in left field of the Cardinals. McCovey of the Giants is hitting third at first base. Aaron of the Braves is the cleanup man in right field. Santo of the Cubs is hitting fifth at third. Helms of the Reds is at second, batting sixth. Brody of the Mets batting seventh, catching. Kessinger of the Cubs is the shortstop, batting eighth. And Drysdale of the Dodgers on the mound with his warm-up pitching. Well, to tell you more about his old teammate, here is Sandy Koufax.
Kurt Down's 10-5 this year and having a fine year. He's got a great ERA of 1.37, and as I said, it's just been a great year for him as he set the all-time consecutive innings scoreless record this year. Down's got a good fastball, a sinking fastball, throws quite a bit of them, and a slider and a curveball, but this year he's had great control.
Jim, born in San Francisco, lives now in Anaheim, the home of the Angels, 26 years old. Nobody on, nobody out. And the 2-2 delivery is a smash hit in the deep left field. That ball is off the wall, gets away from Flood. Fergosi's in the second and has a stand-up double leading off the game.
We saw a couple of weeks ago, it's quite herky-jerky. Throws from all different positions. Drysdale is very smooth.
He's behind Carew, 2-0. Bouncing ball to the right side. McCovey handles it easily, and advancing to third is Fregosi. So the American League is a runner on third, 1 out. And the outfield has just been waved deep and over to right. Carl had been in a bad slump. The 2-2 pitch to Yastrzemski. He pops it up down the foul line. Backpedaling, Sano grabs it. That runner still on third. Yastrzemski fouls out for third baseman Sano. Now it's 2 down for the American League and Frank Howard. And of course he went on the famous flurry in May. He hit 10 homers in 6 games. And the crowd looks at the size and oohs and ahs at him. A gigantic man. He's leading the majors in homers right now at 25. A line shot to shortstop Kessinger, and Drysdale gets out of the zone. So in the top of the first, no runs for the American League, 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left. Middle of the first inning, the American League nothing, the National League coming to bat. Cleveland's brilliant right-hander Louis Tiant starts for the American League. Here's Sandy to tell you about it.
Kurt Tiant's having a great year. He's 14-5 and an ERA of 1.24. He throws just about everything and from just about everywhere. He throws over the top, throws sidearm, he throws 3/4. He's got a good fastball. His curveball and slider, he calls them 2 different pitches, but his catchers keep saying they're pretty much the same. He'll throw a hesitation pitch, and he'll throw a slow curve every now and then, and he's liable to throw it from any angle.
Really a herky-jerky pitcher, and his motion gives the batters a lot of trouble. This is his first All-Star game, and many of the National Leaguers have never seen him before. His sidearm, change speeds, and throws that head and those legs and arms all over the lot. Mays hits a bounding ball by Brooks Robinson in the left field. Willie Horton is up with it, and Willie Mays leads off for the National League with a single. 5 homers, 37 runs batted in. Willie Mays back, ball gets away. There goes Mays to second. And he's in there. Willie doesn't run the bases as much as he used to. He's older now. He's working now, 3-2 to Kurt Flood. Willie Mays at second, nobody out. Last of the first inning, no score. That's over the head of the catcher. There goes Mays to third. Flood to first. Looked like he tried to put something extra on that fastball. A strikeout pitch, and got away from him. Strong left-handed pull hitter. They play him deep and toward right. Bounding ball to Carew. They go for one. Back to first. Double play, and in the score is Willie Mays. No run batted in for McCovey. He had 7 hits in his last 8 times at bat just before this All-Star break. Get his average up to 247.
Swinging at bad pitches, got me in a slump, but I think I'm all right now.
And Tiant throws 3-1. Ball 4. That's the second walk that Tiant's given up here in the first inning. Puts Aaron on first, 2 down, and brings up Sano. Ron Sano, a slugging first baseman of the Chicago Cubs, is up. He's also batting 247, has 13 homers, 47 runs batted in. There goes Aaron. Ground ball is short. Bergosi over to first, and that's it for the National League. Sano grounding out short to first. The National League had 1 run. There was 1 hit, 1 American League error, and 1 man left. At the end of the first inning, it's the National League 1 and the American League nothing. Willie Horton of the American League leaders, the Detroit Tigers, leading off here for the American League in the second. Willie batting 285, enjoying a great year, 21 homers, 47 runs batted in. It's a fly ball to Hank Aaron and right. 1 away. This is quite an outfield defensively the National League has. All of them are Golden Glovers. And Flood very graciously gave way to Mays in center field and volunteered to move to left. But you won't see a better defensive outfield than the National League has right now. And a high fly ball in the shallow right by Killebrew. A pop backing up is Tommy Helms of the Reds to take it, and they're 2 down. 15 homers, 45 RBI. National League leading 1-0, top of the second. The American League is 2 down, nobody on. 2 down, nobody on. The 3-2 pitch to Bill Freehan. Ground ball down the third base line. It's a fair ball. Sano, with a strong arm, throws him out. Sano can really fire that ball across. So it's 3 up, 3 down for the American League in the top of the second. Warming up for the American League now is John Blue Moon Odom of the Oakland Athletics. Tiant's going to work just 2 innings. And there's Odom in the American League bullpen. Out of position, although he has played center field before, but he's normally a left fielder. There's a line shot to right. Howard up with the ball. Helms is going for 2. The throw, and Helms is in with a double. And Jerry Grote's back home in Texas. Born and still lives in San Antonio. 2-2 pitch. Struck him out on a curve. First strikeout for Tiant. Kessinger hitting 252. He has no homers, 18 RBIs. Automatically the manager of the All Star Game the next year. 2-2 to Kessinger. Got him on a fastball. 2 strikeouts in a row for Tiant. For yourself. Well, he has 28 lifetime home runs. Helms at second, 2 down. Last of the second, the National League's ahead 1-0. Don is one of baseball's more handsome players. The 1-0 pitch. There's a line drive out to Willie Horton in left field. That's it. The National League is out in the last of the second. They had no runs, 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 left. At the end of 2, the National League leads 1-0. We're going now to the third inning. This is Kurt Gowdy with Pee Wee Reese and Sandy Koufax. Here's some of the other players in the American League squad. Johnson and Powell of the Orioles, Harrelson and Santiago was selected, but Gary Bell was replaced in. Santiago was injured. Tommy John, Dwayne Josephson of the White Sox. Brooks Robinson of the Baltimore Orioles. Brooks batting .243 with 10 homers, 37 RBIs. Drysdale's pitch. Bounding ball up the middle. Kessinger over by the bag to throw him out. One down. Askew, McDowell, Tiana of the Indians, Campaneris, Mundy, and Odom of the A's. We're going to have a pinch hitter right now. Ken Harrelson, Major League this year. This is his first All-Star game. He was given an outright release by the Athletics last year, joined the Red Sox, had a chance for a second bonus contract, and leads the American League in batting with .305 average. He's hit 17 homers and has 60 runs batted in. Stitched in. One out for the American League. Top of the third. The National League's ahead 1-0. Harrelson's a refreshing fella. Got a lot of personality. 1-2. There's a high fly down the left field line. Kurt Flood squeezed over there in the corner. 2 down. Double off the left field wall. And since that double, Drysdale has retired 8 in a row. National League's ahead 1-0, top of the third. That's 65 innings. Tion. McLean comes to the All-Star break with 16 victories. Little tapper right back to Drysdale. Another easy inning for Don Drysdale, and in the third, 3 up, 3 down at the end of 2.5. It's the National League 1 and the American League nothing. Louis Tiant worked 2 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 run, walked 2, struck out 2, and the new pitcher is the youngest man on the American League All-Star staff, John Blue Moon Odom, who just turned 23 in May of the Oakland Athletics. Well, how's it look so far, Pee-wee?
Well, I know one thing, that Drysdale certainly looks sharp. It looks like he's going to have a little rough time at the start, but he settled down there after the first inning.
Big cut. 1-1. Some of the players on the National League squad are Lou and Reed of the Braves. Johnny Bench, Perez of the Reds will be in here. Rusty Staub of the Houston Astros. But they still want to win. 1-1 pitch. Bouncing ball to shortstop. Bergosi to Killebrew, and there's 1 out. He'll be on deck. And, of course, Haller, aside from Drysdale, the Dodgers, Kuzman and Seaver of the Mets, Woody Fryman of the Phillies. There's a ground ball to short again. A longer throw by Bergosi. Right there, the big split by Killebrew. You all right? Killebrew with that split at first. And looks like he's injured him.
This stretch by Harmon Killebrew. Watch this right here. He does a split. Look. What he could have done, he could have pulled a muscle, a groin muscle. Here comes Boog Powell out of the dugout to go out and check on the first baseman. Now you can see, and Harmon Killebrew is not exactly a gazelle. And he gets a hand from the 52,000 here in the Astrodome. Willie McCovey, who hit into a double play first time. All 1. 300 radio stations, including 51 ships, are on the Armed Forces radio. There are 21 countries around the world. On TV, we'll be showing replay of this game in about 2 weeks to our troops overseas.
2 down, nobody on. The 3-2 pitch. Struck him out on a fastball, and Odom sets the side down in order in the last of the third. So at the end of 3 innings of play, it's the National League 1 and the American League nothing.
Oh, some defense, Healy. They're killing it.
Artie Healy! Where is our right guard?
Here in the locker room. You left your family defenseless? Yeah. You could get 15 yards for that, Healy. Personal foul.
Gillette Right Guard, the perfect personal family deodorant because nothing touches you but the spray itself. So share the Right Guard or make sure there's an extra can around the house. Don't leave your family defenseless. Gillette Foamy Shaving Cream. So creamy rich. So creamy thick. So creamy moist. So creamy smooth. In fact, in every 11-ounce can of Foamy, there are 5 pints of cream. Can your shaving cream measure up to Gillette Foamy?
Last year, more people were won over to Plymouth than ever before. It started a movement, a momentum, a beat, and the beat goes on.
Plymouth, when you over, beat goes on.
68 GTX, one of the new mid-size 5, 440 cubic inch V8, twin hood scoops, heavy-duty brakes, special suspension, red streak tires, 4-speed stick or 3-speed automatic, all standard.
Plymouth, when you over, beat goes on. Yes, the beat goes
The 68 Barracuda. Just for kicks, it has 4 new engines. And the beat goes on.
on and on and on. On and on.
Ever find yourself dragged to a party when you had a headache and didn't want to go?
We're going to have a good time tonight.
Hiya, kids. What took you so long? Oh, well, don't just stand there. Come on in. Hey, everybody, look who's here.
Look for sympathy and you find no one really cares about your headache.
That's too bad. Did you take something for it? Mabel, the sandwich is ready yet?
You got to try this cake.
Hi, honey, come here. I want you to meet somebody.
So you start feeling sorry for yourself.
Honestly, honey.
And when you just can't take it any longer, maybe then you remember Anison. Minutes later, the pain is gone.
Everything all right, honey?
And suddenly it feels like a different
How
party.
you doing anyway?
So next time, don't look for sympathy. Look for Anison.
I wonder how many tonight, later on, will be voted in the Hall of Fame, as we had from that original All-Star game. Juan Marichal is now pitching. Of the Giants, a 15-game winner so far this year, his 7th All-Star game appearance. And he's facing the Twins' Rod Carew, who bounced to first his first time up. 23 men all year and nearly 200 innings of pitching.
Kurt, and occasionally he'll do the same thing.
He gives you that big leg kick that we'll show you. There's a bounding ball. A second. Kessinger over there and comes up with another good play. He had to really get something on that one. Frank Howard's going to be on deck. Leg up in the air. Almost puts his foot in front of his face. Yastrzemski hits a hot ground ball. Helms up with it to McCovey. And the National League playing brilliant in the infield. Helms took a base hit away from Yastrzemski. That's Mr. Howard. The 2-2 pitch. Sidearms him and strikes him out. Well, that's it for the American League in the top of the 4th. At the end of 3.5 innings, it is still the National League 1 and the American League nothing. Now the delivery. Went for a bad pitch. Ran tagged him. Strike out for the pitcher, put out for the catcher. There's been the standout. Ball 4. That's the third walk the National League has had tonight. First base runner against Odom since he came in the third. Sano getting his lead. There he goes. Ball 4. So now the National League has runners on first and second, one out. Pounding ball to Fregosi. They have one. Peru upset at second. They can't get the man at first. He was taken out of there by Tommy Helms, a very aggressive player. Helms threw a pretty good football block into Peru. Really took him out of there. It's the ground ball to Fregosi. The easy flip for the force out, and John Odom works out of the jam in the last of the fourth. No runs for the National League, no hits, there were no errors, and 2 left. At the end of 4, the score is the National League 1 and the American League nothing.
Marshall. It's been all pitching so far in this All-Star game. There's a little tap over Marshall's head to second baseman Tommy Helms. That makes a great play. There he is, number 19, Tommy Helms, the Cincinnati Reds. Tonight, watch this. A high chopper. Marshall just makes a leap at it. Watch him. All in one motion. Look at that. Anyway, he keeps it up. He's there at first base on a low throw from Fregosi. Had to be carried off the field with a stretch. I don't think it's anything too serious. 2 strikes on Boog Powell. Did he go around? Yes, sir. Shag Crawford. Behind home plate said he did. He started to hold up, but it may have been a strike anyway. So the American League has failed to score. They have 1 hit. The National League scored 1 run in the first inning. They lead in this ball game by a score of 1-0. Not score. The 2-2 pitch to Bill Freehand. He struck him out. That's all for Bill Freehand. And that's all here in the top half of the 5th inning for the American League. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on. After 4.5 innings of play, it's still the National League 1 and the American League nothing. Rick Mundy. Yastrzemski has moved from center to left. Tony Oliva in right field. Tom Halleck. There's a ball hit high out into right field. The second baseman, Peru, goes back. In comes Oliva. Oliva underneath it and takes it for out number 1. Willie Mays has scored the only run in this ball game. He's 1 for 2. 2-1 extra innings. National League won both of them. They have won 5 straight. And that's a record. A high hopper to Brooks Robinson, the third. Over to Boog Powell, and that's all for Willie Mays. So it's 2 up and 2 down here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. He walked in the first inning. Rounded out to the shortstop. Having quite a year. Little slider way outside for Kurt Flood. It's a free ticket, and that's the 5th one given up for the American League tonight. Didn't go. McCovey swung right through a fastball, and he struck out. And that's all for McCovey, and that's all for the National League here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. So after 5 full innings, it's still the National League 1 and the American League nothing. Fly around or get in and get out. We have a few changes. Steve Carl's the new pitcher for the National League of the St. Louis Cardinals. Brooks Robinson on the first pitch. Hits a high fly out to left field to Matty Lou, who just came in there. Now let's take a look at the changes. The new pitcher, Steve Carlton of the Cardinals. The new catcher, Tom Haller of the Dodgers. The new left fielder, Matty Lou of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Rick Mundy. When he came into this game, they put him batting in the 9th position.
Dewey, this is the youngest player in the American League squad. Rick Mundy's 22.
Little high chopper to Carlton. You better hurry because he can fly.
Marshall pitched 2 innings. He faced 6 men, struck out 3 of them. Ferguson, the National League All-Stars, 1. The American League All-Stars, nothing. We're in the top half of the 6th inning. It has been all pitching. And he struck him out on a high fastball, way outside. And that's all for Ferguson, and that's all for the American League All-Stars in the top half of the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. After 5.5 innings of play, it's still the National League 1 and the American League downward. Detroit Tigers. Line drive, base hit out in the left field. Yastrzemski down on one knee, up at the ball. Henry Aaron makes the big turn at first base, back in there. 2 or 3 real fine plays in the field. There goes Henry Aaron. Askew's thrown it to Carew. Looks to me like they got a little mixed up. Let's put second late then to put the tag. Watch this now. Watch Carew come over. They both kind of hesitate. Carew backs off. No one there. They may have had a chance for him.
I think they may have had him, Pee Wee. They're both behind the bag looking
for a fly ball on the bases. He looks like he's just sort of going half speed, but he gets there all the time, running, fielding.
Outside, ball 4. Santo gets the 6th walk given up by the American League pitchers. No one out. Looks to me like they're not expecting a bunt. He goes to the right side with Carew over to Campaneris to Boomtown, and not in time. Stop. Who plays right here in the Astrodome for the Houston Astros, and he's having a pretty good year. A pretty good year. I would say a great year. Batting .317.
Here was a young big bonus player that struggled. They sent him down, brought him back up again, and finally last year he found himself, and he caught up with
the shortstop and second baseman back at double play depth. He pops it up. Don Wirt at third of the Tigers underneath it. And Billy Williams of the Cubs batting for shortstop Don Kessinger. First. Got 2 good base runners. Air ball hit out in the right field. Tony Oliva should have no trouble with it. Underneath it, and takes it for the 3rd out. And that's all for the National League here, the bottom half of the 6th inning. No runs. On 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. So the score at the 6th full inning, still the National League 1 and the American League nothing.
Fred Shanedean started Drysdale. He worked 3 innings, gave up 1 hit, no runs. Marichal pitched 2 perfect innings. Steve Carlton put the side out in order in the 6th, and Seaver's on. Carew, Yastrzemski, and Oliva will be up for the American League in the top of the 7th. Carew are still in there for the American League who started. Change up, a little bounding ball, charged by Cardenas. Has him easily, and there's 1 out in the top of the 7th. Though then, Pee Wee. Triple Crown winner last year in the American League. Nothing. Got him on a fastball. Oh, they're 2 down, and Tony Oliva is coming up for the first time in the game. 2 down, nobody on, 1 strike to Tony Oliva. And the pitch. There's a smash in the deep left center. That ball is, well, just missed a home run. Oliva's in a second with a stand-up double. And the American League has a tying run of 2 down. Askew batting .273 with the Indians. 2 homers, 23 runs batted in. As late, the only run of this game came in the 1st inning. The National League's ahead 1-0. Looking high inside fastball. No runs for the American League. 1 hit. There were no errors. 1 left. In the middle of the 7th, the score, the National League 1 and the American League nothing.
Going where the mosquitoes are this summer? They're waiting to see you.
So is the pollen, the dust, the furry beings. They can be a bunch of troublemakers if you're allergic to one of them, and they just might start something like tears in your eyes, itchy swelling, plaguey sneezes, and a painful, stuffy feeling in your sinuses. It could ruin your summer. Get help. Get Dristan. Dristan is on your side. Dristan puts an antihistamine into your system, a decongestant, and a pain reliever. If you're allergic to one of the troublemakers, take Dristan with you wherever you go. And summer can be everything it should be.
30% flaps. 30% flaps.
Robert McLaughlin! You leave those flaps alone and give us back the right guard. Don't you dare fly away and leave us defenseless.
You took your family's right guard? Yeah, you're grounded.
Oh, no. Gillette Right Guard, the perfect personal family deodorant because nothing touches you but the spray itself. So share the Right Guard or make sure there's an extra can around the house. Don't leave your family defenseless.
Young man,
Yes, madam.
is this the one they call the spoiler?
Oh, yes, madam.
You're absolutely sure?
Yes, madam.
With the miracle plastic coating on the edge?
Yes, madam.
But it doesn't say the spoiler.
Madam, I give you my word.
Thank you. You know, my husband has so much trouble when he shaves. I must tell him about it.
Hi. Dodge Fever is really catching on, and we're celebrating with Dodge Fever specials, especially equipped cars at special prices. Save up to 50% on extras. Here's what you get on Monaco and Polara. And of course, we'd never leave out Coronet. Dart has Dodge Fever specials, too. See a Dodge Fever special at your Dodge dealers. At participating Dodge dealers, you may also win an exciting bonus bandwagon gift. Save at your Dodge dealers now.
Here for the American League. This year he's won 8, lost 8, earned run average of 1.55, and he leads the majors in strikeouts with 168. Tom Heller of the Dodgers is up. He flied out his first time up. Heller leading off for the National League in the last of the 7th. There's that high hard one by McDowell. One away in the last of the 7th. And Willie Mays, the captain of the National League, coming up the single, grounded out fly. One ball, 2 strikes. And McDowell strikes him out. Well, McDowell struck out 2 in a row. Philippe Lou's with the Braves. Azul with the Giants. And he's hitting .344. He's a singles-type hitter.
And wants to throw every pitch that's ever been invented. And everybody that's ever hit at him said if he just stuck to his fastball and curveball, he'd never give up the hit.
There's a backhanded grab by Campanera. Safe at first base. Campanera is making that play that is so demanding in the shortstop, the long throw from the hole.
Way for this ball, and Manny Lou can fly. Watch this now. Watch him get in position. Braces himself on that right foot. Get something on the ball. Watch this. Just barely beat it.
The league ahead 1-0, and Willie McCovey up has hit into a double play and struck out fly. 2 strikes. There it is. He struck out the side. That was a quick and right around the knees. No runs for the Nationals in the 7th. 1 hit. There were no errors. 1 left. At the end of 7, it's the National League 1 and the American League nothing. Have to race the scorecard and take out that 4-3. A 1-2 pitch. Struck him out on a fastball. 1 away in the 8th. And here comes Mantle. Listen to the applause. Now it's a standing ovation for him. And the pitch to Mantle. Strike to him. Mantle, the 16th All-Star game. American League has only one player left in the bench who's available for a pinch hitter, a non-pitcher. That's Dwayne Josephson of the White Sox. They've had 2 hits. And he struck out. And Seaver has now struck out 4 men. In an inning and 2/3. Mantle gets a hand as he goes back. There are 2 down, nobody on in the top of the 8th inning. And there's a drive to right field. That ball may be headed in the corner and extra bases. Wirt is in the second. Aaron into Tommy Helms, and it's a double. The tying run's on second for the American League. Is standing in front of the 2 pitchers warming up for the National League. We'll try and show you a shot of this. And this is a protecting. He is there. They have their backs to the plate. In case the ball line drive hit down that line, Gibson would protect them.
Out there. He's got good stuff and good control, which you don't see in a lot of young pitchers, but you're starting to see it more and more these days, and I think that's why pitching is becoming so good now.
Struck him out. Seaver strikes out the side. He has struck out 5 men in 2 innings. The American League had no runs, 1 hit, there were no errors, and 1 left. At the end of 7.5, it's the National League 1, the American League nothing. Theo earned run average this year in his 2nd All-Star game. Well, he'll be the 5th pitcher tonight for the American League. They've had Tiant, Odom, McLean, McDowell, who struck out the side in the 7th. The late tuners in, the National League scored in the 1st inning. Mays single. Went to 2nd on it. Stottlemyre's been a workhorse with the Yankees the last 3 years. He's pitched over 250 innings each season. That's strike 3. Aaron not looking. 1 out in the last of the 8th. And pitched to 1 batter. Now Tommy John of the White Sox is on. Ball 1 to Ron Santo. There's only Josephson has gone behind the plate of the White Sox. And only 1 man of the American League has not been in this game, and he's warming up now in the American League bullpen, and that's Gary Bell of the Red Sox. A 1-0 pitch. Fly ball in the shallow left. Yastrzemski grabs it on a hop. Throws it in. Well, that's where it belongs. Tommy Helms hits the ground ball to 2nd. Johnson tags the base runner and is out at 1st. A double play. Dave Johnson to Blue Powell. So the National League in the 8th inning had no runs, 1 hit, there were no errors, nobody left. At the end of 8, it's the National League 1 and the American League nothing. The All-Star history has had 2 chapters. The early chapter, in which the American League dominated. They led 12 games to 4 after the 1949 game. They had a complete edge over the National League, and since then, the National League has won 16 of the last 21 All-Star games. The last American League win was at Chicago's Comiskey Park in 1962. Carl Yastrzemski. The American League has had 3 hits tonight. They've all been doubles, but the National League has not walked a batter, their pitching staff. Now the National has received 6 walks. Campaneris hits the bounder to Sano, and quickly 1 away in the top of the 9th inning, and the American League down to their last 2 outs. Stage manager Jim O'Gorman in the mound. Strike 3 right in there to him, a fastball. That was right down the middle. 6 in the last 2 2/3 innings. And now they're going to bring a left-hander on to pitch to Yastrzemski. 24 years old from Appleton, Minnesota, the New York Mets. 11 wins and 4 losses. Winner now trying to get the final out of the game if he can. And pitching Yastrzemski, who takes ball 1. Yastrzemski is fouled out, grounded out, and struck out. A tremendous pitcher of the Cardinals, and Woody Fryman, number 22 of the Philadelphia Phillies. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, nobody on. He struck him out, and the National League has again defeated the American League. The final score, 1-0. And the National League pitching staff, brilliant tonight, did not walk a batter and struck out 11. The scoreboard, the $2 million scoreboard going off. And once again, pitching, completely dominating baseball's top all-stars. So the final score again. The National League had 1 run, 5 hits, and no errors. The American League, no runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. Made.
Okay, thank you, Kurt. Thank you very much. And it's always a pleasure to see this fella. Had the opportunity of playing against him for a number of years. Willie, you never seem to lose your enthusiasm.
What I think when I do, Pee Wee, I'll probably quit, but I don't want to lose in a game like this. I think I'm playing against the best in the American League, and I'm just thankful that I had a chance to start at least in the All-Star game. I was sorry that Pete got hurt, but when I first came in the dugout to Pete, that show run, but he laughed about it. But again, it's always a pleasure to play in a game like this.
Well, talking about Pete Rose, it's a pretty nice thing for this fellow to come down to this All-Star game. Maybe he could have gone fishing someplace, but he still wanted to come to the game.
Well, I hear a lot of guys say, well, gee, I want those 3 days off, but I don't think that's true, Pee Wee. I think when you get an opportunity to play in a game like this, you want to come and just be among the 25 guys we have here.
Willie, the pitching, especially in the All-Star League, in the All-Star game, why is it so strong? You have any reason for it?
Well, I think is that we don't see the pitches enough. Pee Wee. I think a guy like Odom, I didn't know what he threw, and by the time you get used to him, he's out of there. So I think it's the lack of not seeing a pitcher over a course of a year. I think in National League, like this, when you play a series against a club, you know just about what each pitcher would do. But in the All-Star game, they're out of there so quick that you just don't know anything.
Could it be, too, that the pitchers know that they only have to go 2 or 3 innings, they can throw a little harder, don't have to pace themselves?
Could be. I understand they can only go 3, and you might be right in there.
Willie, you've had quite a long career. Any idea how much longer you can go?
Well, Pee Wee, I really don't know. I think my body is in really good condition right now. I don't think I'm slowing up to the matter that I'll be able to quit. I'm not embarrassed myself out there, but I'm not hitting like I should when I was 20 years old. But, well, who is, though? But guys that 37, 38 years old are not even playing. So I'm very thankful that I can go the pace I'm going with the type of body that I have.
Thank you, Willie, and I guarantee you, pal, you'll never embarrass yourself. Thanks a lot for dropping by.
Thank you very much for having me, Pee Wee.
Okay, Willie. Now then, back up to Kurt Gowdy and Sandy Koufax in the booth.
All right, and thank you, Pee Wee, for another nice job. And this was the first 1-0 shutout in All-Star history. We've had 3 previous shutouts, and also both clubs set a new record for the fewest hits by both teams, 8 in a game. We had 20 strikeouts, Sandy. Good fielding, especially early in the game, by the National League infield. And, of course, the big factor was the National League pitching staff not walking a batter in the game.
I think that's a big factor, is the fact that they didn't give up many hits, but if a couple of men have been on base on balls, maybe you give up 1 run. Tommy Helms did a great job defensively, as you said. And it's always a pleasure to see the guy that Pee Wee had on. Like Pee Wee said and Willie said, his enthusiasm never stops. I think he's great.
I'll say one thing, both managers tried to get everybody in there.
Yes, they did. They got everybody but 2 pitchers on the National League team and 1 pitcher on the American League team.
There were 47 players in the game.
Well, I think it's great. I think we ought to mention the guys that didn't get in. It was Bell for the American League and Bob Gibson for the National and Woody Fryman.
All right, and that's the story, and thanks to you again, Sandy. Sandy Koufax, Pee Wee Reese, and Kurt Gowdy here from the Astrodome.